Hey, welcome. You made it, and I made it, and here we are together in our happy place. I was just talking to Ninja Kitty, and we were both talking about how this is our happy place, the live stream of consciousness. Um, it's just something amazing that I get to do every week. And even when I don't have any guests, it seems like I'm here kind of sharing my energy with everybody and feeling everybody's energy. What's up, Courtney? Uh, yes, indeed, our happy place. So here we are at the live stream of consciousness. I do have kind of a guest who's trying to get on. In the last couple of weeks, I've been dealing with all these kind of technical difficulties with Courtney on the strange and wonderful, and whatever it is, it's no big deal. There's no stress. Kerri Ann is trying to get on. She's on an Android device, so she's just trying to figure it out. The microphone is blocked and all that. We looked up some Google things. We didn't quite figure it out yet, but good luck to Kerri. Hopefully she will join me. I'm going to talk a little bit about her. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's up for the live stream. I'm super excited. Kerri has been kind of on my back in a good way because she's kind of seen me struggling keeping the live stream going. I've been so busy, and she kind of offered some help in the form of booking some guests and just kind of helping me keep coordinated. So I'm super grateful to her, and I will talk about her in a minute. But I did want to talk about the last week, which I called the episodeless episode. What's up, Jilly? I see Jilly B out there. Um, just because I was trying to figure out what to do next. Jesse is kind of figuring out what he wants to do with his own show, and I wanted to keep the live stream going. It's just such an amazing conversation. Oh, look, my kitty's in the background on the bed. You can see her in the galaxy. Um, so I here we are, and it's a new chapter, a new evolution for the live stream. Like I said, Kerri Ann is going to be helping me get some great guests. We had Sunshine on last season, and some of her group, the goddess groups, those people, it's like a crossover. So we were already talking about getting some of those goddesses on here, and some of them are coming on. And again, I'm going to talk about all of that stuff in a minute, but I wanted to talk about my experience in Chicago. Some of you guys may know I had an awful, probably the worst travel experience of my life. I've traveled a bit, and traveling to Chicago was such a nightmare. On Friday from LaGuardia Airport, there was a bit of a storm during the day, maybe about an hour and a half, and uh, my plane was supposed to take off at 8:30. I got to the airport, everything was on time. At I'm sitting at the gate, and the flight's delayed till 9:30. No big deal. I knew I wasn't getting there until late into Chicago and whatever. So sitting there till 9:30, plane gets delayed again till 10:30. Plane gets delayed again till 11:30. I think they delayed it again till midnight. And then I was good, and then finally it said it was delayed till 10 a.m. the next morning. So I had to get called, picked up at the airport. I could have went to a hotel. They were offering a hotel, but it was the next morning. I wanted to go home. I wanted to sleep in a good bed and whatever. So by the time Janice got to the airport to pick me up, the flight had been canceled. So the flight that was already delayed till the following morning was canceled. So they said, if you booked, you have to go to your website and rebook. So I go to the website and I go to rebook, and the next flight they have out is Sunday. So I missed the whole day of Saturday at the trade show and fly out. I have to fly out Sunday. They couldn't rebook me on another airline because all of the airlines were having the problem. Um, anyway, I don't need to get into all the minutia of it, but it was really, really bad. I didn't get there till Sunday after the show because that flight was delayed also on Sunday. And then I was there for the show on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Tuesday, just missed the flight. They closed the gate on me, had to get put onto the next flight, and I made it home finally. So I am home, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. Um, what I wanted to talk about was that I was there for a trade show. One of the things that I do with my brother and another partner of mine, Pete, is we make digital signs. We have a digital signage platform that you see in McDonald's and food service places that you go. You'll see the digital menu boards. So we've created a system that allows you to create those menu boards, design your own menu boards, use our designs, go in and edit it and do all of the stuff and schedule it. It's a pretty cool system. And every year, except the last couple of years because of COVID, we do this trade show called the National Restaurant Association trade show, and it's the biggest trade show I've ever been to. It's anything that has to do with restaurants, from the place servings to the furniture to the equipment that cooks the food uh, to the food itself. There are food vendors there. It's just a huge, huge show, and it's amazing. So my brother had gone to a presentation, and he had seen the speaker who said to the audience that if you do things regular, expect regular results. And this guy was wearing a full bright yellow suit, like a three-piece suit, really nice and formal suit, but it was bright yellow, and he had a bright yellow hat on. And it inspired my brother. So I don't know if anybody has seen the pictures, but I'm going to share one of the pictures. This is actually the follow up that we sent out to the leads that we had. Let me see if I can make that bigger for you guys. I think I can. Yeah, there we go. Uh, so our booth was a tiki booth, a tiki bar, and you can see the two. Let me see if I can point. So there's these two digital signs in the tiki bar there. We had a digital sign over here that was a slot machine that was kind of cool. You press this coconut and the slot machine goes. It was thinking out of the box for a company at a trade show that does digital signage, which every year we just did. Here's our product. It was very clean looking. It was very corporate, and we had so many people respond to just the energy that we were putting out in these ridiculous tiki outfits. You could see these full short and shirt ensembles. This is actually Pete, who's wearing a onesie, or actually, if we found out that they don't call them onesies, they call them romp hymns instead of rompers. They call them romp hymns. I guess it's some sort of joke, but anyway, it was no joke. People were stopping and saying, "Oh my God, I love what you guys are doing. This is great." And it worked. We stood out. We got some extra people to engage, and I think people will remember us. So it was a lot of fun, even though I had a lot of traveling issues and whatever. It was a lot of really good energy. I've been wanting to get myself back into Smarter Sign a little bit. I'm remote. My brother's in Chicago. I don't really work in the day-to-day minutia of the business, but I do want to get involved, and some cool things are happening. So thank you for indulging me in that long-winded story. Oh my God, I've got to take a drink now. But it was fun. Julie says Hawaiian attire is always works, and I agree. Hawaii is a magical, magical place. And the Hawaiian attire was definitely a lot of fun, and it made a difference. It was fun to be with my partners and have fun and do all of that. So, oh, I hope I did not just close that. Oh, I didn't. Okay, whew. I had opened the browser with all of the different websites of all of the cool guests that are coming up, and I just wanted to. Oh, I thought I closed it. So I'm actually going to close this here. Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to get Kerri Ann's Facebook page up here so you can see who she is. I think you guys saw the picture. And where am I? Okay, everything's back to normal. So, how's everybody doing out there in the live stream of consciousness world? Um, I don't usually get a chance to engage with you guys. It's always been me and Jesse and just kind of going at it and bringing the guests on. But I know I got a lot of amazing people out there who tune in and watch. Some of them don't say anything, and I appreciate those people too. And some of you guys, you do contribute. So this is Kerri Ann. She is a friend of mine from the Long Island spiritual community. And she herself is an intuitive, and she does Reiki, and she reads tarot cards. So she's very spiritual and has been watching the live stream since day one. Um, and I didn't even know that we were connected through a bunch of other friends, Stephen Durante, and some people that have been on the show. And we started talking, and it was great. She decided to help me out because I've been really struggling. Uh, Courtney's been good and super tired from work. I hear you. I am right with you. I am super tired from work, but super happy. Work is going great. Everything is going really good. Um, but anyway, Kerri Ann uh, offered to help me. I know I also had an offer from Janet Tafola. I haven't forgotten about your offer, and I do want to look into some of the people that you were talking to me about. But Kerri Ann just kind of was a little more aggressive and got some people already lined up for me that expressed interest who have heard of the show, or she's kind of out there ambassadoring for the show, and I do see you guys sharing the show, and I appreciate that. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel. That will definitely help me a lot. And also, um, commenting on the YouTube channel. I know a lot of people watch on Facebook. Oh no, you know what? Actually, I see Lily's watching on the YouTube. Jilly's watching on YouTube. Awesome. So YouTube is also viable. I've just got a text from Kerri, who is telling me she's so sorry she can't get on, and she's frustrated. I'm going to tell her, don't be frustrated. It's all good. Let it go. I'm going to honor our plan. So our plan was to basically talk about who we got coming up. So I know there's a couple of people who already are on the schedule. So I'll talk about them. There was a couple of people Kerri mentioned who aren't quite on the schedule yet. They haven't committed to a date, but they're also super interesting. Um, if you guys out there, I know Courtney, you've got a couple of suggestions. People who have been on the Strange and Wonderful, who are also very spiritual. So I think I'm going to talk about getting some of those people crossing the streams, so to speak, of the Strange and Wonderful and the live stream of consciousness. Um, and yeah, we're just going to grow. We're just going to have some amazing conversations, and it's all going to be good. And we're going to be one big happy family. So I appreciate you all. So let me start talking about some of the people that we got coming up. Um, and right off the bat, I want to talk about Kelly Talixon. I am trying to get her page up here, home. I'm going to put her website up here as I talk about her. So Kelly Talixon is she's a hypnotist, and she does this thing called transpersonal hypnosis, and it's again, to me, the reason I love this show and I do this show is because all of these things resonate with me. I resonate with so many modalities, and to me, I actually think a lot of them are the same. They all do the same thing. They all bring awareness and higher understanding and connection. You know what I mean? They all connect you to yourself and connect yourself to the collective, to the bigger consciousness that is the universe. I think that's kind of the journey. That's the spiritual journey. That's what everyone's trying to achieve. And something actually I wanted to say about that as well is that, you know, here at the live stream, the conversation is always based on spirituality and this journey and this awareness. But that doesn't mean that spiritual people, that's all they talk about. You know what I mean? And that's a little segue to The Strange and Wonderful, which came out of this show. The Strange and Wonderful is on Wednesday nights. I do a broadcast with Courtney, and we talk to people who are a little outside of the mainstream, but are so strange and so wonderful that I feel myself expanding as I'm talking to them. I'm getting texts from Kerri, who is watching. Um, and she's telling me that Kelly is also a best-selling author. I haven't even gotten into Kelly yet. I've started wandering off. So let me get back to Kelly. She's keeping me on track. See, even though she's not on. So I'm just going to go to about me so you guys can see who she is. And she is also a best-selling author. Um, her most recent book. Oh, you know what? I did grab the cover of it, but I think I did that while I was at work. The Voiceless Soul. She's got a book out called The Voiceless Soul. Um, And again, her modality is hypnosis. And we're going to talk to her about uh, exactly what she does and what her approach is. The thing that I've learned, again, with all of these different modalities, is that hypnosis, while I think most people understand what that is on its most basic level, it's putting you into a kind of a trance state, right? Um, but hypnosis is also used for past life meditation, transgression. I'm sorry, past life transgression. All of these different, even Akashic records readings. All of these different modalities kind of touch on the same energies and the same concepts. And Carrie Ann is out there laughing at me because she's keeping me in line with the texts and keeping me on track here. So I'm excited to talk to Kelly. I don't know Kelly. Um, as you guys know, a lot of the live stream of consciousness came out of personal friendships and relationships that I had or Jesse had. So they were people that we kind of knew, and it was great to have those conversations. But I really enjoyed it when I started getting people that I didn't know on the show and just learning about different people, and learning about their stories and creating space for them. I also started watching a friend of mine called Matt, called Mind Dog. Sorry, he's called Mind Dog, and his name is Matt. And he does a podcast, and he talks to a lot of authors on one of his shows, and a lot of comedians on another one of his shows, and just has these amazing conversations. He's an inspiration to me. He does a lot of research about the people, so he can really have these great conversations. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. Learn a little bit about Kelly before I speak to her, and then I'll be able to kind of speak to what she does as well as hear what she does. So, um, Kelly, I'm looking forward to having you on the show. If you're out there watching, if anybody knows who she is, get excited because she is definitely going to be on the show. I think she is. Hold on, let me see what the dates are. I didn't make up the calendar graphic yet, but I will make up a nice calendar graphic for everybody. So Kelly is June 9th, which is next week. So awesome. Kelly's going to be on here next week. Awesome. Will I try hypnosis? You know what? If she wants to do a live demonstration with me, I'm down. I mean, I'm really down for anything. If somebody's got a message for me, you know what I mean? It's like I'm always down. I have people call me and say, "Hey, I've got this message. Is it okay?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I'm not, I'm not freaked out. So I would try hypnosis if somebody wanted to try something. I have had various levels of success. I'll be honest. I had some past life regression sessions with some really well-known people and didn't really get there. Um, Probably two or three different people. But I also tried Reiki a lot, and I didn't get anywhere with that until I met the right person who happened to end up being my girlfriend. Um, but that's a whole different story, and that's going to be one of the guests. But I absolutely experienced energetic movement, and I'll tell you guys the story when I get to talking about Janice. So, okay, great, awesome. Here we go. Moving right along. This is good. That is June 9th, and then the 16th, 1 week later, we have Angel Eyes Dawn Marie. Some of you know Angel Eyes Dawn Marie from local Long Islanders, from the Long Island Spiritual Individuals. I believe she's also in the Sunshine's Goddess group, but she has her own group. Dawn Marie is uh, what is she? She's best known for her intuitive classes, but she's also a powerful medium, oracle, card reader, and another best-selling author of well, she's a part of. She's authored her own story in a multi-author book. I see a lot of these multi-author books coming out where you have the stories of different people and their transformation stories or some sort of story of manifestation in a collection, and that is called Intuitive. That book is called just intuitive. So I'm imagining it's a collection of stories from intuitives. So Ninja Kitty is saying, I find that fascinating. I guess you're talking about, oh, I got to change my banner. Sorry, Angel Eyes. There's the Angel Eyes banner. I guess you're talking about hypnosis. Yeah, I find it fascinating too. Steve Interrante, who has been on this show, he does past life regressions. through hypnosis. And what he's been doing that's really interesting is multiple people at once. So he has two people in separate places in separate rooms, and uh, he regresses them to a past life, to actually even pre-human life, like someplace in the void in the cosmos. He regresses both of them there, and they interact with each other. It's super freaking fascinating. And that's what I love about the live stream of consciousness, is just being able to have these thoughts and conversations about thoughts that are a little out there, and most people don't process that stuff. So, and that's okay. I don't hold that against anybody. If you can't process it, it is pretty fascinating. Um, so I'm not seeing anything here. You can feed me some texts here as we're going along, Kerri. I see that you're doing it. That's great. So Angel Eyes is tentative for June 16th. She may be out of town, but she said she would broadcast from out of town with us, which is cool. We've done that with Jesse. So spiritual counseling sessions, Angel Eyes, Dawn Marie, private group readings, counseling. Let me help you see your inner truth. I love this community and this energy of people who make connections with their inner selves and then are able to figure out how to help other people do it. I feel like I do that too, but not in the same way that Angel Eyes does, or Kelly. I do that this through this. So here I am giving these people their platforms for you guys to see, and be like, oh, I'm gonna go check out that person. I know a bunch of you guys follow Christopher Allen now, and are friends with a lot of my friends. A lot of people that we brought on here, you guys have become friends with and followed. I see a lot of people who follow Bowen Bramwell, who's the artist that we had on here. Sunshine, people follow Sunshine. Courtney misses Jesse Blaze Snyder. I miss Jesse Blaze Snyder too. He's such a unique energy, and such a great, loving person. I do miss him, and but I do love him for launching this out into the cosmos. This live stream. Here we are, all still thriving and jiving and all of that stuff. So Angel Eyes, I'm looking forward to her. She's also somebody who I've spoken to and seen doing live tarot readings online, which I love. I love that that's happening. People are just connecting. This is such a great platform. Sunshine, who we had on the show, she's off and running. Her Ripple Connection show, I think, is a couple of times a week at this point. I don't think she just does it once a week. So we may have her back on the show. But let's move on to who might be tentative. Or let's see, we have um, June 30th. I did not find anything on Dara, but I will put her name up here. Let me create a banner for her. Dara, I was looking for Dara Weiss Miller is her name. I'm going to add that banner. I'm going to put it up. So Dara Weiss Miller, this is not her website. Let me pull that down. Dara Weiss Miller is also confirmed for the show, so we'll talk about her. I didn't see her website, but she is the owner of Spiritual Readings by Dara. So she does spiritual mediums. Her modality is psychic mediumship, um, spiritual counseling and guidance, also amazing oracle card readings. I'm finding I'm really loving the growing community of people who are doing card readings. It's certainly difficult to find people who are genuine, because anyone can take a deck of cards and be like, oh, this, that, the other thing. But if you've experienced the real thing, it. You know what I mean? And what I think, once you become a believer, you're more open to that. Even the people who maybe don't know what they're doing so much are pulling cards that make sense to you, or saying things that make sense to you. Um, you know, in the spiritual world, we believe everything happens for a reason. So even if you find someone who you don't feel is genuine, there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? The navigation of that relationship is there to teach you something. That's something that has been amazing for me in the last couple of years. Is just learning how to navigate my relationships with other people, and in the most spiritual way that I can, in the most loving way that I can. It's amazing when you make those choices because you feel so good about yourself, and the other people feel good because you're creating space for them, and allowing them to be who they are. Um, all that stuff. I'm not like a lecturer on all of these things, but I just excuse me, I just kind of feel them, and feels good. I feel like I finally, not am I only feeling my way around, but I'm kind of going in the directions that I want to go. Excuse me while I wet my whistle here. Everybody still with me? Am I just rambling on? Navigate via heart. That's right. It's all via the heart. I made a post today. I woke up with the thought in my head that love was the most valuable currency in the universe is love, and you decide whether you're going to generate it or not. You can generate that love. It's like you can make your own wealth. It's like I can't even describe it any other way. That's basically it. Love is it's easy. It's by choice. It's not only fulfilling for you, but other people feel it. I mean, can any of that be denied? You know what I mean? It's like I'm not just saying stuff because I'm trying to like convince everybody that all is good and life is all puppies and roses. It most certainly is not. Um, but you can choose to enjoy those puppies and those roses, puppies and fudge. Steve Sage, my friend Steve Sage is in Florida, and he was walking down the street, and there was a fudge shop and there was a puppy shop, and I'm like, puppies and fudge. So you can enjoy that puppies and fudge. And what was the other meme about the snow that I liked? You can not find no joy in snow, but there still would be snow, so your life will be less joy and still be snow, or something like that. And it's like it just makes so much sense. And Lily is saying she's always here. Thank you. I love that. And that's it. That's why I'm here, because you know it's just the way it's supposed to be. So let's go on. So Dara Weiss Miller is June 30th. Um, we're not sure what we're doing the week of July 4th. If it's 4th of July on a Thursday, we probably will take the day off, or maybe we'll have a special gathering. I've invited you guys to come on live with me anytime. Anybody who wants to come on live at the right moment, if it's the right moment. I mean, if I'm not in the middle of talking to somebody else or something, let me know, and I'll pull you up, and you can be live up here on the live stream of consciousness with me. That's one of the original ideas of this show. So so far that's all the information I'm getting from Kerri right now. So I'm going to go through some of the other people that I would like to have on the show, and unfortunately his website is down, but I'm going to share this image. I don't know if you guys can make that out. uh, the name of this guy is Charlie Tedesco. Charlie Tedesco is he's like a genius. He's like a sacred geometry math genius. I've seen him do a couple of workshops about sacred geometry and about sound. So now he's taken that knowledge that he has, or he was always kind of working with sound, but he's taken it to the next level, and he's doing sound healings now. So if you're familiar with sound healings or crystal bowls, the crystal bowls that you see here in the picture, let me see if I can point to them. These are the bowls right here. So these crystal bowls, if you haven't seen them, you can strike them with like a dowel, and they make a nice boom sound. Um, or you can take that dowel and you can rub it around the surface, like the edge of the glass, and it starts to hum. It starts to go "Ooh," and it's incredible. You feel it happening inside of you. The sound emanates from inside of you. um it's just such a crazy experience to actually experience these these bowls, Kerri Ann says, yes, Charlie may be a genius. I think he is. He's kind of like, he does remind me of Rayman a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, he's not like autistic like that, but he's got that knowledge in his head. He's got like, he understands things. He makes these connections. You know, if you've ever seen like a flower of life, it's like a geometrical, beautiful geometrical shape, but there's all this math involved, and he can tell you like what the points mean and where everything crosses and why. And it's like, it is really an incredible connection he has with um understanding sacred geometry and sound. So also what you see in the background there, um these gongs, I do have a better picture of it. So he's created these metallic discs that are I guess perfectly machined, and they rotate within these little holders, and he strikes them and they rotate, and they also make different sounds, and they're all different sizes, and they spin around, not only rotate like the wheel, but they also spin around this way. And it's just amazing. He's patented this sound healing equipment, and sound healing is such a young burgeoning industry that I can imagine a lot of success for him kind of selling these things and people using them. I am dying to work with these guys, Steve and Charlie together do the sound healing sessions that will just blow you away. Steve plays a wind instrument that's like a MIDI wind instrument, and Charlie plays the bowls and the gongs there. But I would love to project some crazy mandalas and some really cool imagery onto the bowls and onto his gongs while he's doing his sound healing. I've suggested it to them a couple times and it just hasn't happened yet. Sunshine's here. What's up, Sunshine? We were just talking about you a little earlier. Um, they are local, Jilly. So Charlie and Steve are local on Long Island. I know that they work at the Collective Consciousness. I know that they work at the the Holistic Center for Spiritual Wellness. I believe that's what it's called, the Holistic Center in Smithtown. They do it there. I'm imagining Sunshine will probably have them over at her place doing it. So yes, they are local, and you should definitely seek them out. Two amazing yogis in their own right. Um, so Charlie Tedesco, we don't have him a specific date, but he is definitely coming up. Sunshine is endorsing Charlie and Steve. They're amazing. They certainly are two amazing people. Guys I love to hug. You know what I mean? I'm just a hugger, and those are two guys that aren't afraid to hug me back. And you gotta love that. You know, you gotta love that energy. So Charlie Tedesco, ba-boom, coming up. And then I'm going to move on. I'm going to see who I have here. The medium astrologer. So Charlene Lawrence was mentioned. Kerri Ann, I don't know if you want to chime in on the chat and say anything about her, or text it to me and I can say it. But she is an astrologer. She is a medium. Again, these are people I don't know, so that's why I was going to have Kerri on the show with me, kind of talking about who they are, because she's more familiar with these people, and I'm kind of excited about that. I was heavily involved with the spiritual community a few years back, and I was doing meditations every week, group meditations at the Holistic Center with Steve, and I was doing all sorts of really amazing stuff, meeting all of these amazing people, and it just expanded my soul, brought me to a place, and then I kind of was at a good place, and I needed to evolve a little bit, I guess, outside of that circle, and I'm kind of coming back to that circle and making some amazing connections. Sunshine had her on the show, so Sunshine also, as I was talking about before, Sunshine has taken this to another level, and she's doing, I think, Sunshine, are you doing it 2 nights a week now or 3 nights a week? The Ripple Connection is Sunshine's show, and she has goddesses coming on, spiritual people, again, very similar to the content I have, sharing stories. I mean, we both we connected on that, Sunshine and me. Just the idea of unconditional love for others really allows you to open up yourself to not only give space to those people, but want to hear their stories and almost want to kind of, I don't want to say live vicariously, but you know what it is? I feel like it's, you want to see what the reflection is. You want to hear that person's story and then be like, there's my reflection. I see it now. I think that's what it is. I think that, again, as I was saying earlier, part of what I've enjoyed about this last couple of years is navigating my relationships with different people, and I think that's a part of it too, is being able to see your reflection in other people, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing. It helps you to grow, and it helps you help that other person. um and I'm just, honestly, I'm just channeling right now. I'm just saying stuff that I don't even know where it's coming from. I just know it to be true. So there it is. There's Michael Zinn's advice for the night. Charlene is very gifted. She does 90-minute moon readings that are outstanding. So I'm excited to find out what a moon reading is. I don't know what a moon reading is, but I do believe in the energy of the moon. She also creates jewelry with crystals. Hopefully we can get her on. A validation of sorts, Julia is saying. Yes, absolutely, a validation. Man, my mind is just, I don't even know what to say right now. I love this feeling where there are so many sparks going off in my brain to talk about my relationships with people, and that whole thing, what we're talking about, the reflections of myself, or limitations of myself, or some understanding of the connection that I have with that person. I mean, I have no doubt that you guys have all met people and known in your being that there's some sort of cosmic connection that you have with that person, and it may be a cosmic connection. We make little sayings about these things because it kind of makes these concepts easy to understand, like, so a reason, a season, whatever that saying is, like, people come into your life for a reason or a season or a lesson, or I'm not even sure, but sometimes you'll meet someone that you feel so strongly connected to, and you'll go through some things, and you'll go through that connection, and then the connection will go away, but it's okay. Like, it's not, there's nothing permanent. I think that's another whole conversation about being. I get a little carried away sometimes, so bear with me. So Charlene Lawrence already got an endorsement from Sunshine, an endorsement from Kerri Ann. Hopefully we can get her on. Oh, next we have bum bum bum, the Quiet Healer. So it's been an interesting conversation about having Janice on the show. Janice is my girlfriend. She is also an amazing, amazing Reiki master. I'll tell you the story now about my Reiki experience with her. But Janice and I actually worked together many, many years ago in an advertising agency, 20 years ago, I'll say. And we reconnected on Facebook, kind of through a little bit through the spiritual community, or she saw that I was getting involved in the spiritual community and that I was a photographer, and asked me if I wanted to barter. She said, "Hey, I need to do some new headshots. I really want to get into Reiki, and uh, you know, do you believe in Reiki?" And I said, "I do, but I haven't really had much success with it." And she said, "Oh, well, would you be interested in bartering?" And I said, "Sure," because I'm always open to that. I'm always, I don't try something and it doesn't work, and I'm like, that stuff doesn't work. I believe that the right person will connect you with the right vibrations, and that's what happened with Janice and myself. And she has this thing where her hands get really hot, and part of the session with Janice, I really truly thought that she had like some sort of heater, like a warmer, like a heated rock or something that she put her hands on to warm them up before she put her hands on me, because that's what it felt like. I mean, her hands were so hot. Um, But the interesting thing was less of the touch and the heat energy. The really interesting thing was when she put her hands on the side of my head. So she wasn't even touching me. She was just kind of doing this. I was laying back and she was above me and she was doing this. And I literally felt that I had two huge seashells on the side of my ears, and I was hearing the ocean and I was hearing this white noise and the universe. I was just hearing just swirling. And I was like, I opened my eyes. I was like, that it was powerful and it was real. And so that's what kind of switched my switch for Reiki and started me understanding, energy healing and the Reiki journey. Kerri Ann says, can't wait to see your girlfriend on. Me too. I'm excited um to have her. Something's going on tonight. Kerri Ann, are you going on tonight? Oh, uh, Kerri Ann was supposed to be on here talking with me right now about all of these guests, and she was having some technical difficulties. Her computer is not around, and she was trying to get on her phone, and we tried to Google all of these Android issues, but no big deal, no stress. She's here in spirit. She's here in the chat. She's on my text feeding me information that I need for who our guests are. So anyway, let me get back to Janice. Janice is the quiet healer, and Janice is very, very introverted. She's very, very quiet. And that's starting to change because she got into Reiki. She loves Reiki. She loves to do Reiki. And she also, interesting to me, this was the first time I had experienced it, but she sometimes gets messages for people. So she's also a medium. She's an intuitive, and she gets messages for people that she's doing Reiki for. And I personally think that that's what she's supposed to be doing, is the medium part of it. But Reiki is how she does it. Reiki is how she gets those messages. So again, I love the way all of these modalities cross over. Different people, kind of resonate with certain parts of different modalities and create new modalities, right? Infinite possibilities. So that's the universe expanding. These new modalities are these combinations of other modalities. Sunshine with the violet flame. Some people are talking about Saint Germain and the violet flame, and they take that as a part of their modality, and they integrate it into sound healing or whatever it might be. It's just amazing. Do what feels right. Do what feels good. Do what you see affecting other people. That's Sunshine's story. Sunshine started doing these healings and didn't know what was going on, but knew that it was something. And she was like, all these people are healing from me, and I'm feeling them healing, and it's healing me. Or it's this big cycle of energy. So anyway, Janice will be on the show. I didn't confirm a date with her. I just, because Kerri Ann was picking a lot of dates, and so I wanted to just kind of let that fizzle out so that I can pick a date for Janice. She will definitely be on the show. That will be exciting and interesting to have that dynamic and just do that thing. So that's cool. I was also excited about this organization, the Long Island Healing Arts and Learning Center. Again, not confirmed, but a possible visit to the show. Kerri Ann, what were the two women's names? I have it on my text somewhere here, but I know you're in the chat there. So there's two women who run the Long Island Healing Arts, and Lisa Williams got in at 44. Rocking. That's awesome. I love that people even notice that stuff. So welcome, Lisa. So Long Island Healing Arts and Learning Center is Laura and Terry. And again, I think it's a bunch of things that go on there, different modalities, Reiki. Here we go. Sessions, inspire, awaken, revive, restore, empower. Who doesn't want to do that? You know what I mean? Crystals, gemstones, and more. So again, I mean, I'm super excited. The live stream is getting regenerated. I'm super excited about that. And Lisa says, right on. She noticed. And thank you. Um, so yeah, I mean this is shaping up to be a good. I'm calling it season 2 for some reason, but I feel like it's something different, right? I mean, it is season 2. It's a new evolution of the live stream. Um, Kerri Ann is saying that it's the most amazing place for classes, healings, and all things spiritual. Awesome. So again, I'm loving that there are so many places to go where like-minded people can just chill out and talk about stuff and not worry about feeling like they're saying something a little too weird or something like that. So this is the Long Island Healing Arts. That's Laura and Terry, who are going to be on the show, I guess, in July. We have most of June covered. I think June 16th, 7 days after that, the 23rd, we have to cover. Maybe I'll have Janice on the 23rd. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a graphic. I'm going to make a calendar. I'll post it on the Livestream of Consciousness Facebook page. Again, for Kerri and Lisa and Sunshine, if you guys haven't already, it would really help me out for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So let me actually, you know what? Let me put that on here for a second. Here's the link. I'm going to put that link in the chat so you guys can click it and just go there if you're not a subscriber, and just subscribe. It will help me so that I can change that horrible YouTube link to a YouTube link that is, oh, it didn't go to Facebook. Hold on a second. I think I can comment here. I'm not sure. Anyway, that will help me change that horrible URL to youtube.com/the Livestream of Consciousness, as it should be. And maybe there'll be a website eventually. I think these platforms are good, good way to get out. Lisa says, I was wondering what happened to you guys. I think I might be subscribed if I'm not already. Okay. Well, actually, you might be subscribed to Jesse's channel, which the live stream old episodes are there, but the new episodes are on my new channel. So what happened is nothing bad. Jesse just was decided he wanted to pursue some other things, as far as he still wants to do a live show, but he wants to do it more less about spirituality and more towards his mainstream fan base, which is his music and his comic books. And Jesse is amazing. He is, as you guys know, he is such a talented individual with his music, with his voiceovers, with his comic book art. He's a true rock and roll legacy. I mean, Dee Snider is somebody who I grew up listening to and always had an admiration for, just because of who he was. But when I got to meet the Snyder kids, one at a time, I met Jesse, I met Cody, I met Shane, all through different avenues. So I worked with Cody on a couple of music videos through my friend Steve Sage. He's friends with Cody, and Cody is just beyond talented and just beyond spiritual. Excuse me. He's got his own show now called The Awakened Underground, which is all about plant medicine and their ayahuasca experiences, and just he's just trying to get the word out there, and endorses the plant medicine for what it is. And again, I support him 1,000,000%. So Shane, I met also working on some video stuff, but Shane was more, he was a writer. He was like a comedy writer. So he wrote a lot of the material that we were shooting, Steve, again, through Steve Sage. And I was just amazed at how talented, how humble, and just cool the vibe was from the Snyder kids, because they weren't uh, entitled. They weren't anything that you would expect as far as a rock star's kid. They were just really passionate about what they did. They were just really genuine people, loving, and and it was great. And then I worked with Dee on a couple of different levels as well, just totally separate from those relationships. So it's very weird, my connection with the Snyder family. It was a real highlight of my career to design the graphics that um, were on Dee Snyder's LED screens behind his concert when he released his latest album this year. Or last year. It was about a year ago. It was last summer. He released his latest album. He had a big concert here in Long Island. There was a huge LED screen. I should get the video and play it for you guys because it's awesome. And I did the graphics that were there. It was fire, and his album cover kind of came to life. It was like breathing, and really cool stuff. So Sunshine is saying I should put the new YouTube link in the Facebook. So let me go to the Facebook page here for a minute. Because I thought I had just done that. Okay, so here we go. All right, so here's the link for you guys in the Facebook channel right now, so you can go there and subscribe. Thank you, Sunshine, for. I thought I had posted here, but it said an error occurred. They could not post it to the Facebook group. So here it is. I don't expect you to copy it from here. It should be in your chat. So you should be able to click it on your chat and just hit that subscribe bell. Comment below if you think anything. I love watching Russell Brand because he's always just like inciting people to comment, which is part of how he's got 6 million followers, or he's on the road to 6 million followers. But also his energy is amazing. I love listening to Russell Brand. He's definitely getting a little bit. I think everybody is. Once you start going down a path, you just start kind of getting on the extreme left to right. So even though he professes to not have an opinion about anything, he does have an opinion about stuff. I mean, he thinks the government is horrible, which I'm not going to disagree with. But his point is, it's not the left, it's not the right, it's the whole system. We've talked about that stuff here, and I'm going to agree with him on that. But he does get a little carried away, and he's just very passionate. It's awesome. I love this platform. I love that just a guy like me can get on here and start talking to people, and they'll start to gather, and we can have these amazing conversations. So that's probably all I have for what I got coming up. But there will definitely be more. Uh, I do I do have an opportunity to talk with Adam and the Metal Hawks, which I don't know if you guys have heard of Adam and the Metal Hawks, but they're an amazing, amazing young rock band from Long Island. Um, Adam is somebody who was a winner on like The Voice or America's Got Talent, one of those shows. He went through that process, and he was an amazing singer. He's like a big dude. He kind of sounds a little bit like Jack Black. He's got this Jack Black-esque vibe to him, where he's just a funny guy, and he can sing like that. And they're just an amazing band. And it was really cool manifesting some stuff with them because I had been watching them on social media. Somebody had like said, "Oh, you got to check out these guys. They're local. They're great." And I heard them, and I was like, "Oh, they sound pretty good." They were actually just called the Metal Hawks at that point. And then Adam, once he won and came back to Long Island, he needed a band. They all became one. But um, they just seemed so much fun. They were a lot younger than I am. They're like in their 20s, and but they just seemed like so much fun. And I was like, I want to work with those guys. And through my different resources and connections, I didn't even really pursue it. I eventually was asked, "Hey, Danny, who is Dee Snider's manager, also manages Adam and the Metal Hawks, and needed some guys to go." It was the middle of COVID, so it needed some guys to go with the band to Virginia for a show and kind of manage that whole process. So Steve and I went down there and we filmed it, and it was amazing. It was just so much fun being on the road again with a young band and just rocking, and the energy that brings up, and it's just so amazing. So anyway, I have an opportunity to do an interview with them. I'll probably do that on the moment, and I'm probably going to keep the moment for maybe higher end, not higher end, I don't want to say that, but just more like celebrity profiles. Like I have Tommy Chong on there. I'll probably interview Jackie the Joke Man on that show because I have a great relationship with him. I'm thinking about Randy Jackson from Zebra. I'm thinking about, using my resources, people that I know and that I've worked with and that I know trust me and would be happy to help me out by being on my show. Uh, I'm planning on having some of those things happen as well. So here I am. It's 9:58. Holy moly, I actually made it for an hour blabbering about what's coming up on the show. Uh, Lisa says, "What nights are you on?" So this show is Thursday nights. This show is Thursday 9 to 10 Eastern time. The Strange and Wonderful, which is a show I do with Courtney, and we interview some really strange and wonderful people. That show is Wednesday at 9, and let me see if I can. I'll give you guys the address for that. Give me 1 second, because I've got a Facebook page for that and a YouTube channel for that. That's pretty much what I've decided my platforms are going to be. The Strange and Wonderful right here is that one's an easy one to know. That's facebook.com/the strange and wonderful. Let me pop that in the chat here too on Facebook. Strange and the Wonderful. And I'll pop it in the chat here as well. So the Strange and the Wonderful is Wednesday nights, and the moment is kind of random at this point. I had an amazing opportunity to talk to Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong, and man, that was just so much fun to even prepare for that and watch some of the old stuff and figure out what I was going to talk to him about. But he's the easiest guy to talk to. It was so much fun. I got to do a virtual smoke session with Tommy Chong live on the air. That was pretty awesome. And he actually gave me a shotgun. So we're smoking. Then he leans up to the camera. He goes, and gives me a shotgun. So I got the first virtual shotgun from Tommy Chong, and it was awesome. It was just so cool. So this live stream of consciousness is a manifestation of my happy place and Ninja Kitty's happy place, and any of you who find this to be your happy place, I thank you for adding that energy to it, because that's what makes it such a happy place, isn't it? Um, I am going to wrap up the show, this kind of season episode, and if you guys have any ideas of how I can call this show, I mean, I think I'm gonna. This is episode 60, but I've missed a couple, so I called one the episode list episode, and it's probably more like 65, but I'm thinking of just starting back at one because it's something new now. I'm here by myself. I don't have Jesse here, and I'm thinking of starting back by one. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave it on the Facebook page. If you have any comments, anything that you want to share with me, people that you think might fit on the show, if you want to come on the show, let me know. This is our place. It's all good. Um, Anyway, I did something interesting. I may have to change the music. I got a notice from YouTube about a copyright infringement. So apparently, this music that I got from Canva as free music, some band used the same music for a song, and there's some copyright claim. So I may have to change it, but so far they haven't blocked out any of my episodes. They just gave me a notice that I couldn't make money from this one of the episodes, which happens to be the AI episode, which is a really good one. I love that AI stuff. We're going to have Alexander on the show again and Mimi and talk about some AI stuff. But anyway, that's been the show. You guys know how much I love you. I really do. I can get a producer very spiritual and doing a movie about the Iroquois and Peace. Lisa, contact me for sure, or I'll contact you. I guess we're friends on Facebook. Absolutely. I absolutely want to talk to them. I've actually there was an Indian filmmaker who I worked with a few years back, and I would have loved to have him on the show because his film was really interesting. and took him across the astral plane and took him across time. And a movie made by an Indian and like a native Indian to really be like a science fiction movie was really, really cool and interesting. And it had a lot of um, Indian legend stuff in there. So there was a lot of stuff that crossed over to current paranormal and old school paranormal. So very cool. Well, I am just chomping at the bit to play my outro and tell you guys how much I love you and come back next week. Starting next week, we have Kelly coming on and a whole bunch of new people. Look at the Facebook page. The calendar will be coming up this week. And Kerri Ann herself, who wasn't able to make it on the show tonight, is also an intuitive. So she's going to be on the show telling us her story of her spiritual transformation. In the meantime, love yourself, love everybody. I will see you guys soon. Peace.